take no thought for tomorrow, what you'll eat, what you'll drink, or anything else, because each day has enough problems of its own. So don't be worried about next week or the week after that or nothing. You worry about the next game, because that's the only thing that's important. It's the next game, because you can't get on to the next ones till you get past the next one. So get in there Friday night and worry about the Yellow Jackets, and that's all you need to worry about. All during the week, you need to worry about your schoolwork, and you need to worry about the Yellow Jackets of Lookout Valley. And other than that, don't be worried about nothing else. That's all we need to worry about right now is Lookout Valley. So go out there Friday night, play the best of your ability, 110%, and let's get that big W. That's about all I got.
Coming to you live from Studio G in Hickman, Tennessee, I'm Rusty B.
And I'm Paul D, and you're in the huddle. Hut, hut.
Hey, we finally got it to rhyme. You figured it out. 11 weeks in, Paul's got it down pat.
You're supposed to do the third hut.
Hut.
All right,
How about
we're
that?
ready.
Now
we're ready.
I was just surprised you got it. You finally figured out Paul D rhymes and Paul Martin didn't.
Well, I decided to change it up because, this is Halloween night.
Well, you was wanting to bring us in on a Halloween note, but...
Right, and this is Halloween night here at Studio G, and we really hadn't had any trick-or-treaters over here tonight, but maybe the Valley boys are going to be our trick-or-treaters Friday night. But Anyway, looking back, down there at Salina the other night, had a slow start.
The opening kickoff just didn't go our way.
They caught us by surprise a little bit, kicking it short.
They sure did. Who was it, Halliburton?
I don't know who
had to hold up. I don't know if the kid got his helmet on the football or what happened, but regardless, ball comes loose. They get on it and got themselves in good field position to score. Defense steps up as they did all night. We did give up 2 touchdowns in that game.
In the second half.
But I felt like we played better defense the second half, to be honest with you. Just, we give up 2 plays. One of them was in, a third and short.
Right, and we missed a tackle, probably on an all-out blitz.
Pretty much bringing the house, and they had one guy to beat, and he beat him. They got a block and did what they had to do to get to the end zone. The second
was basically a wheel route.
4th and 5. We bid on it wasn't a wheel route. We bid on it was a curl and go, and out and up, something like that. It was a go route, and we bid on it. The cornerback Bill
and
was
all
Bill.
To the races.
He about fell down and just got burnt.
But main thing is
give up 2 touchdowns.
Main thing is kids kept digging, they kept fighting, and they really wanted this region, and they went out there and got it.
They did, it seemed like everything that could go wrong did. Old Murphy's Law, and that's kind of been the season for us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we've had some bad things go wrong. Holding calls have killed us. They killed us the other night. Every time we would get a good drive going, we would either fumble or get a holding call that put us in a 3rd and long. And those holding calls, they are highly avoidable, right? It seemed like every time we got a 10-yard run, we got a holding call. And it was just kind of odd that was happening, But the holding call, I try to explain this to my son sometimes. Look, if it's 2nd and 7, let's just say we're 2nd and 7. All right, we run a little dive play, and we end up getting 3 or 4 yards.
Now, essentially, you're 3rd and 3.
That's right, but we get a holding call.
Now they backed us up to a 3rd and 13 or 15
That's
or something
right.
like that.
When had you just not got caught holding, and the guy that you're holding makes the tackle, you're still sitting at 3rd and 7 instead of 3rd and 13. Does that make sense?
Right.
The holding calls will kill you. And, sometimes if the guy gets you beat, linemen get their pay making blocks. Then there's a lot of holding that goes on that don't get called. And, typically if it comes behind you and we get 10 yards and you're holding a little bit, they're going to call it. You can be holding a lot and them run away from you, and they won't call it. Does that make sense? It's just the way it is.
But what I want to see going into the next game, what I want to see is I want us to hang on to the ball. I want us to not play stupid point blank. We can't beat ourselves. We got to go out there and play smart football.
We really shot ourselves in the foot. Now, we were this close, just real close to losing that football game. And, we pounded on them for 4 quarters, and that's what it took. They were a little more physical this Friday night. We got a little physical there, especially toward the end. We rammed it down their throat for
but the problem with that is
3.5 quarters before we scored.
The problem with that is though we didn't show that kind of physicality, but maybe the last 5 minutes of the game, and we didn't show that for 4 quarters straight.
No. I think we were physical the whole ball game, a little more physical than we have been.
I agree.
And we were pounding on them.
We were, but we kind of picked up the pace in the last 5 minutes. What I'd like to see a complete game put together.
Yeah. Well, they did what they had to do to win. For 3.5 quarters, we pounded on them, and we did. I mean, I promise you that Salina knew they'd played football when they woke up Saturday morning. It wasn't big hits every play kind of game, but we were a little more physical. You could just see it, and it was toward the end of the game. But in the first half, we were driving, and every time we'd get a drive going, fumble, holding call, something would just hold us back, and we'd put ourselves in a bad situation. And
then we try a field goal, and the wind blows it in the post and knocks that down on us.
The wind was right before halftime. I think Braxton tried to make a move right there at the 2-yard line, and he kind of slipped, or that would have been 6 points. I have that feeling.
And we wouldn't even been trying
right. And he tried to make a move, which was probably the right thing, but had he just run over the blocker, we had a blocker in front of him, and he was going to run into him and try to go around him and slipped. And, it's understandable. But really the clock management right there was kind of poor. I think we had more options than to – I don't know if we had any timeouts. This is what really bothers me a lot of times, and I don't understand it. We get up here in the 4th and 1. We said this all season last year. We've been doing this. Has been a Gordonsville thing for 10 years now. It don't matter who's calling the plays. You get up there on the 3rd and short, or a 4th and short, and we'll try to draw them off sides. They know it's coming. Right? They know they're going to try to draw us off sides. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it don't. But after that, we always call timeout and waste the timeout.
I think personally, you ought to have a if you're going to try to draw them off sides, you ought to have a play to run in the same process.
I'm going to give you
give them, like, say you got a 25-second shot clock or game clock or whatever the case may be. First 12 seconds, you might try to draw them off, but if they don't bite, just run the quarterback sneak or something. Do something besides call you timeout, waste it.
Yeah, I'm going to give you the Rusty Burton coaching play. If Coach Burton's dialing up a play right here on
and you're trying to draw them off sides.
It's 4th and what we have 6 inches to go at one point. I know.
So if you're going to try to draw them off sides,
that's right. I'm not drawing them off sides. I've been ramming it down their throat all night. I'm going to ram it down their throat again.
You ain't even going to try to draw them off sides.
But this time, we're not going to try to draw them off sides. We're going to go up to the line like we're about to draw them off sides, and we're just going to snap the ball and go.
The silent draw, so to speak, like
that's
we called last year.
Don't say a word. Get up there. Your quarterback can say ready and get under center and go with it and hit them quick. And they'll never know what hit them. They want, they're expecting to hear something. Right. And when
is that a legal play that you don't even have to have a snap count?
You don't have to call snap. You might have to set the lineman. You know what I'm saying?
You don't even have to say hut, not one time.
I think you have to set the line. Right?
But you don't have to say a word, do you?
No, you don't have to say nothing.
So you can go on a silent snap count and just go.
Well, the Tennessee School for the Deaf goes on the drum, the bass drum. You ever heard that?
I've never actually heard of that going without a snap count. But that might work.
It would work.
We may get up there, and if they're expecting to hear the quarterback say something, and
set the line of scrimmage, look around,
and then the quarterback just slaps the center on the butt. Says, "When I slap you on the butt, you snap it."
Make sure your linemen are waiting. Make sure they're watching the football so that when it moves, they can go.
That needs
and
to be
essentially you'll get the push.
That needs to be a play. We need to get in there. Just
we gotta get that dialed up.
Yeah, we gotta get that silent count. We'll call it the silent count.
I really can't take credit for that play, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because we run it when I was in high school. Coach Wills would say, "Listen, boys, get up there, and you're going to get just like we're about to run a play, and you're just going to snap it and go. You're not going to hesitate. When the ball moves, you're gone. We're pushing forward."
Well, let's call it the silent count then.
And we'd run a quarterback sneak, and we would get it, quite often because they would be expecting to hear something, a snap count or something. And you don't have to have that. It's just whenever the center snaps the ball, you can go.
All right, we'll call this play the silent count.
Yeah, the 4th and inches.
Silent count.
Don't say nothing and ram it down their throat just like you had been. Right. And we got ourselves in that situation and burned a timeout that I think we really needed right there before halftime. The worst thing that I think, this is just one of our flaws, is wasting timeouts sometimes. And sometimes you need a timeout to think of a play, and we actually did go for it on 4th and get it. Right.
That must have been when I was down there telling them, let's just run the quarterback sneak and go get this thing.
Well,
and we did.
Typically, the quarterback sneak it might have worked, but
we did.
When you got a running back in the backfield, by the way, who carried the ball 51 or 52 times
for 253 yards.
52 times the other night. He could have carried it 62 times. I mean, he's that tough a kid. That kid's tough.
Right, but this quarterback sneak every once in a while is not a bad play.
No, you gotta want it though. You gotta go get it, and I think
we've got the line. I think we've got the line to push that boy in there, and they did push him in there.
Typically the reason the quarterback sneak may not work as good right now is because, in all honesty, the center position could be the weak point of our line right now. Does that make sense?
But the other night, we got our guards and our tackles get in there and push the guy, and he pushed him forward for a first down. And as long as you can get that extra push from your boys, you can get it.
Oh, yeah, you're going to get a little push. But I think, for the most part, that's why we don't run the quarterback sneak a whole lot, is that the middle of our line is probably the weak point in our line of scrimmage, because we got the 2 big tackles, which the other night we come out and we put both of those kids on the same side of the football.
Well, could you not run a quarterback sneak, putting both them guys on the same side and just run in behind them?
Yeah, you could.
And it worked probably.
We run that. We talked about that last year too. What we would do is take our 2 big tackles and put them on the same side of the ball.
And they did that a little bit.
Run 3 tackles over there. If we got a 3rd tackle, I think Billy Bennett's out. But if we had a 3rd tackle, why not put him in the game?
They did that a few times the other night. And we drove it down their throat. Didn't we?
Get them big guys blocking, you can move the football. You can get me a yard every play. Regardless, I think we did quite well as far as moving the football. We just shot ourselves in the foot several times with holding calls and things like that. And when you do get a holding call, it's not always holding. The ref may say something that and be nitpicking about something. So
something else I want to add on Salina is a little excitement. The other night, Adam on a 2-point conversion. He ran it in there, got the 2 points, ran with some authority, and then he was running down that line like Dan Marino, high-fiving the crowd, and he was pumped up, and that's what I like to see. I want to see some more of that. Some kids excited and pumped up.
He did get excited. I said he looked like Dan Marino, but I wasn't talking about the celebration. I was talking about Dan Marino. He always had 2 big knee braces on. He was real stiff, but he got the job done. And something that kind of impressed me is Adam moved about 5 yards in a couple steps. Kid's got a long stride. And, speed may not be his thing, but when you're getting 2-3 yards a step, hey, that helps. And the kid can move a lot better than I thought he could. I thought there was no way he's getting in there. And he stepped right up and took 2 steps and was in the end zone.
Well, I'll tell you the thing about Adam. Adam's one of these kids that you talk to him and you make him believe in himself. He'll find his potential. He just has to be talked up and believe in himself a little more. Then it'll come out.
We talked about this too early on in the season. Adam was only throwing the deep ball. Right, that's essentially all he threw was the deep ball.
But now that we've got him throwing some 6 to 20 yard passes, he's doing quite well on those mediocre passes.
He was hitting them in stride the other night, throwing the football. But when you're throwing the fade routes every every time you throw the football, that's this is what I call a low percentage pass play.
But the other
and
night,
there's a high percentage they're going to pick it off.
The other night he hit some out patterns. He hit a crossing route across the middle. But he hit some curls. And then he hit a slant down the seam for a score.
It's just I think maybe his dad puts him in a making him complete the harder passes. They're traditionally harder to throw that pass.
Yeah, but I think the reason he tries some of those, the reason he tries some of those is that's to help loosen up the defense.
You're right.
And plus, either we're gonna catch it or nobody's gonna catch it. So it's not really a bad idea every once in a while to take a shot down the field.
Well, those slants really loosen up. Those slants will really loosen up your cornerback. They'll come in and try to play that, but then you can hit the deep ball, is what I'm saying.
Right, like a slant and go or something down the field.
Yeah, I mean, just you want to. But the go route, to me, takes a long time to develop. I'd rather hit a slant, an out, a curl, something like that. Another thing we did the other night, and we got him involved in the game in a big situation, and he's usually the most underappreciated guy on the football team.
Tight end?
And I played it. It was tight end.
Yeah, Corthell. What was that route? What was that route? Because it was straight down the field, and it got about 25 or 30 yards.
Was it Corthell?
It was Corthell.
What number was it?
42.
Was it Corthell?
It was Corthell.
I was thinking it was...
no, it was Corthell.
Cripps.
It was Corthell.
We're going to have to go look at this.
It was Corthell.
We're going to have to go check this out.
I'm 100% it was Corthell.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it might have been.
What was the route that was run? Because it went straight down the field.
Just, we run the tight end on kind of a drag, but he was kind of getting downfield. Not necessarily a drag play, but he was dragging deep, and getting depth as he was dragging. And, the tight end drag is a great play because it pulls them underneath linebackers, and you get a lot of times you'll get a mismatch on something like that.
I was very happy that they ran that play because you and I, we've talked about for the last 2 years, need to get our tight end more involved. And it was like 3rd and 15, I think, on that play.
It was 3rd and 18.
Or 3rd and 18, and he goes right down the seam for about 25 yards.
I think it got us. What did it get us in a 4th down, though? Never did we get the first.
We got the first down on it.
At the end of the game, we got in a 4th and 5 and handed it off and went to the end zone, right?
No, it was 4th and 9 from the 20, and we had a 20-yard touchdown run on it.
I know it was 4th and something, and he ended up getting. We just handed it off. If we don't get it, we turn the ball over deep and let them try to score.
But that was still a big touchdown for us.
That was a huge touchdown. It put the game out of reach, and they knew it. And
But anyhow, the tight end play was very good to see.
Hey, I love that play. Get the tight end involved. And a lot of times, I guess it makes sense not to throw him in the game, not to get him involved too early a lot of times because you want to save it for when you need it. And don't let them be aware of what's about to happen. But regardless, we know the tight end catches football.
And if we need a two-point play sometime, let's not
get in the polecat.
Let's dial up
let's talk about that a minute.
The first 2-point play where we threw it out of the back of the end zone. What kind of play do you think we should run right there?
I'm not opposed to throwing the football at all. I'm not opposed to throwing the football in there. Here's what I'm opposed to. Coming out in the polecat, we knew we had to get 2 points, and we put our kicker in the game. All right, everybody in the state of Tennessee knew we weren't kicking the football. Right.
Was they trying to send him out on a route?
We didn't fool anybody but ourselves. We look like fools, honestly. I mean, you hate to put it that way, but essentially that's what it.
Well, what was the route essentially supposed to do?
Well, when they got 4 guys deep, their coach is hot. They're not gonna. They're gonna fake it regardless. We knew that. Any defensive coach would see that we're not gonna kick the football in that situation. The play, to me, is to line up. Braxton had been running it down their throat all night long. Why not let him do it again?
But do you think the way Adam ran that other one in, I think he had a hole anyway. I think Adam could have pumped like he was going to throw it and took off on that one and got it as well.
Here's the thing.
Because he had to go 2 yards.
Let me tell you, here's the thing about 2-point conversions. Okay. We got a top-tier running back in the backfield. All right? Nothing will burn a defense's butt more than a play action to that kid if you're going to throw the football. Because they're so used to him seeing him and tackling him The one kid I know didn't want to tackle him anymore. He had done run him over.
Just send him out and stand him in the end zone and toss him the ball.
No, do you know what play action is, Paul?
Yeah.
Well, you fake it to the running back.
Right.
Well, let's play action.
But you want to run a route with Braxton and just stand him in the end zone somewhere and throw him the ball.
No, that's not play action whatsoever. I don't know who taught you football.
Well, play action. You're faking the running back and you're throwing it to somebody.
We're going to sell the fake. All right. Let's just say we fake it to him to the left.
All right.
And we got our tight end on the left.
Yeah.
Now let's run that fake. Let's let our tight end drag back across the field to the right. And then as soon as he sells the fake, the quarterback turns around, the tight end's wide open going across the goal line. Right. A yard deep.
So what did we run? What route did we run that screwed up so bad?
We run the polecat, just run around in the backyard and try to get open. That's what we run.
And nobody did.
And nobody got open. Well, I mean, I think the play could have. They had 4 or 5 guys just lined up in the end zone waiting on us to throw the foot. No, they did. Did you watch the game?
Yeah. So we didn't. We literally didn't have anybody. They
had 5 guys waiting on us to throw the football. So because essentially our running back was nowhere near the. You know what I mean? Our running back was nowhere near Adam to be able to get handed the football. So they knew we weren't running it right there. Right. If we were running it, then we were going to have to give it off to a secondary back.
So right. Braxton wasn't even in the game on that play.
Yeah, and it just, that
the only thing we might have been able to pull off,
even if he's a decoy, you got to have that kid in the game.
The only thing we might have been able to pull off there with Braxton not in the game, the fact we might with us faking like we're going to throw it, Adam might have been able to take a dive for the end zone and go in himself, but that's about the only chance we had.
We run one play is all we ever ran. We would run trips right, with a tight end to the right, put the ball on the left hash, which is essentially what we did the second 2-point conversion. We moved the ball to the left hash. All right.
Shouldn't we have done that first?
We flooded to the right. Of course, we didn't flood with Adam. He's not really a rollout type quarterback, and I get that. But we would roll out, and we had 3-4 receivers crossing everywhere. And, we got about 50% of our 2-point conversions. Because we didn't have nobody kick extra points. Well, we probably did. We just didn't kick them. We had a 50-50, and, we would wind up with a lot of 8 points and 16 points or vice versa, not 7-point increments. We played in 8-point increments. And, a lot of times we would get those. But looking back, the last 3-4 minutes of that game, the last 6 minutes we really played football. But essentially the last, what did we score? 21 points in about 5 minutes? 6 minutes?
Something like that.
As we kicked off to them with 6 minutes to go, it was 14-12. It was a little under 6 minutes. And it was 14-12. So we played defense, we kick it to them, played defense like we'd been playing all night. They hadn't really burned us on but 2 plays, just like I said. They beat us on 2 plays. They had 8 or 9 first downs, but every time they got a first down was in one of those 3rd and shorts, and typical football game.
Anyhow, we play defense, and we forced them to punt, and then we go, the dog punter drops the football, and we go tackle the dog punter on their own 3-yard line.
We're going to talk about that play, too, because I got to give some credit to Dustin Profit right here. I'm going to give him all the credit for this play.
And me for hollering at him, too.
I'm not giving you any credit whatsoever on this, because I didn't hear you holler. I heard Dustin holler. He was hollering, get 78, right? Go get it. And I guess 78 looked over twice toward our sideline before they snapped the ball.
He got rattled.
And he was trying to see if it was our coach telling us to go get it. And I think he really thought it was. And he dropped he ended up bobbling the ball, and we tackled him on the 2-3 yard line.
Yeah.
And they give us an easy touchdown.
But it wasn't even the coach calling the play, but he didn't know that.
I'm going to give Dustin Profit, bro. I'm giving him full credit for that drop punt because that was huge.
Because he pretended like he was the coach and said, "Go get 78."
I'm giving my player of the game to number 78 and Dustin Profit. That's who's getting my player of the game ball this week. So, who's your player of the game? I know Braxton toted the mail offensively. We could get, like I said, we could give that kid player of the game every week. He's going to tote the mail.
You know, let me think about this a minute. Player of the game. This is going to be a very important award, and like you say, you could give it to that kid every week.
You can give it to the offensive line too because they move the football. They block well. We did get some holding calls. Braxton had a fumble. Bill Washer caught the ball well again.
Let me go ahead and give old Adam G a player of the game.
You gonna give him a player of the game?
Because old Adam G he stepped up, threw the ball for us well, and he had that big 2-point conversion run, and he showed some excitement and some heart. So let me give it to Adam.
Well, go ahead and give it to him.
Cause Adam played the game of his life, I think, and he stepped up and earned that win for us and done a good job. So, give it to Adam.
All right.
Defensively, Vault, easy call for me. Hunter Vault stepped in there, showed the intensity that we knew he could show, and been the Hunter Vault that we've been waiting to see. Hunter Vault, player of the game defensively.
He did play well.
Hey, this Paul, you reached in the huddle.
Hi, man. Reno Bun here, man. I looking forward this Friday night, man. Made the playoffs. This one I like to come out, man. I heard we gonna play the Lookout Valley Wannabes. Can't wait till we beat them Friday night, man. Gonna be there. Hey, what do you call a bear without ears? A bee. That's pretty good. But hey, gonna tell y'all, give you fair warning, Friday night, man, the bees coming to town. All you fellers over there gonna want to protect your honey. Sit down beside her, don't let her off your side, because they like to get you honey, the bees do. And last time I went to a Sting concert, I had to protect my honey, because that's where there's a lot of bees there at a Sting concert too. And anyway, man, can't wait to see their team Friday night and see what we're going to do and get out there and kick some high end. Got our quarterback rolling pretty good. Running back still toting the mail. Don't want him to turn into a fumblebee. Can't be having that. Don't want him to do that. Anyway, got to get out there Friday night and do what you boys do and hit them right in the mouth and clip their wings, kick them right in the stinger. Don't let them do you that way. Don't let them run over you. Just put the ball in the end zone and get some points on the board. But hey, before you do that, gonna be a 40% chance of rain Friday night. So y'all bring your ponchos and what other kind of raincoats, Mexican raincoats. I think that's what they call a poncho. Mexican raincoat's a poncho or something. I don't know. I had to refer to my Google Translate on that. But anyway, man. Don't do that. Just go ahead and get your rain gear. Bring it up there. Last Friday night got a little bit windy, a little bit cold. So cold that a bat fell out of the sky dead, froze to death right there on the field. Just fell down right in front of our players. I was about there with him, about froze to death. There about that third quarter. But anyway, man, we're going to send Lookout Valley packing. Before you do anything else, go up there at Gordonsville Drugs. Maybe they got raincoats. I know they got them up there, and they put your little initials on there. If Paul could go up there and get him a pretty pink and get, maybe in some neon yellow or green, letter and get his initials embroidered on there, get PDM right there on it. And he'd be looking good at the game, be in style at Amy's Drugs, about Gordonsville Drugs. Call them up, go in there and buy some trinkets or whatever. But Friday night, the Lookout Valley Yeller Jackets are going to be what we call cry babies when we beat them. That's going to be the end of it for them. Get out there and get her done, boys, and I'll holler back at you later.
Welcome back to this Halloween edition of In the Huddle.
Hut. Halloween edition. We got no Halloween whatsoever up on our screen.
That's okay.
Unless you count you and my big, ugly, scary face.
Well, we scared the fans, so that'll count. Anyhow,
we'll take it.
Anyhow, our opponents are coming into Turning Ford Field this Friday night, dressed as Yellow Jackets, wearing their black and gold, I guess, uniforms or whatever. And last time we played the Yellow Jackets, didn't turn out the way we wanted it to. So we gotta even our record against the Yellow Jackets and get one on the board against them.
You're talking about Trousdale County Yellow Jackets as opposed to Lookout Valley. I think we beat Lookout Valley before.
We beat them a few years ago.
Yeah, we played them in the playoffs and beat them.
And I done a little studying on this team. They've got about 25 to 30 kids, and they've got a brand new coach. And I don't know his name, but they got some pretty good sized kids according to the video I watched. But they seem to play a 4-3 defense, and they run a wing T offense. And number 34 is a pretty good athlete. You'll probably see a lot of him running the ball. And then look like they got a number 13 running the ball. You'll probably see him a little bit. Don't seem like they throw it a whole lot, so unless it's maybe second and long, third and long, something like that. But for the most part, they're going to stay in their traditional wing T and give it to 34 and 13. So make sure you hit those guys.
Looking at their schedule, we looked at it. Concord Christian, they opened up with Concord Christian and won 20-6. Beat Jellicoe High School 22-8. Lost to Chattanooga Christian 41-6. Whitwell beat them like a bongo drum 56-6. Huntland, they played Huntland, which is out of the Region 5, I think. They lost that one 20-8. They beat Sale Creek 50-20. Oakdale 21-12. They lost to Copper Basin, which essentially was the spot for second or third place in that, or third or fourth place in that region, 9-0. So they're two pretty comparable teams. Sunbright, they won 29-22. South Pitt, 56-0 over Lookout Valley. And then, of course, that was last week, and they'll play us this week.
So, South Pitt did about what we expect them to do. They whooped up on them.
South Pitt and Whitwell both put it on them. And that's the two teams that are top of that region there.
One thing we need to do this Friday night, this is the jungle, baby. We need to make the atmosphere as electric and as loud and be proud to come out and support these men and make it the jungle that we know it can be.
We got to get our cheerleaders on the ball this week. And the cheerleaders, if you're watching, get the milk jug with rocks. Get them ready to go. It's time to get loud.
Yeah, we got to make this jungle loud. This is playoffs, and this ain't no ordinary game.
Everybody wants to sit in the bleachers on their Facebook and tweet the scores and stuff out.
And Earl,
put your phone down, get your rocks out and your milk jugs.
And Earl, I know you're listening. I know you're listening because your boy listens. So Earl, make sure you get the horn out and blow that horn with some authority. That's because we got to make this jungle as loud and hostile as we can make it. Because they coming into enemy territory.
Earl. You talking about Anthony, Mr. Stallings?
Yeah, Anthony Earl Stallings. But anyhow though, make it loud. We got to make this loud, hostile, and make them dread the night they showed up to Tiger Turney Ford Field.
That's right. This, you preached on this earlier. Preacher Paul touched on this. Tomorrow's not promised.
You're right.
And Saturday morning, maybe not Saturday morning, but the next Friday night's not promised.
Right.
When you have to hang up the pads for the last time, it's never.
For you seniors out there, there is no tomorrow if you don't win tonight. So in other words, Friday night, if you don't get it done, you can't go back and say, there's always be next Friday, because there won't be.
When you put forth the effort, winning and losing takes care of itself. And when the effort's there, the wins will be there.
So one thing you need to do when you go on the field Friday.
Go ahead.
One thing you need to do when you go on the field Friday,
I'll let you talk this.
You need to take a look around the stadium, and you need to take it all when you're walking the field. You need to take it all in for at least take your time walking the field. This ain't just any ordinary game. Just whereas you normally would just walk a field and you say, "Well, I've walked this field hundreds of times." This could very well, if y'all don't win Friday night, this very well could be your last time walking that field. Yeah. So make sure you take your time and soak it all in, and when the fans come out to watch you, soak that in too. When you're out there warming up and take it all in, because you never know.
Say take it all in again.
Take it all in, because
say it again.
Take it all in.
Keep saying that over.
Take it all in.
That's all I've heard the last 2 minutes.
Take it all in.
All right, that's enough. regardless, take it all in.
Right.
That's what Paul's getting at, is enjoy it while it lasts.
But we don't want it to be over as fans, so don't make it be.
Well, essentially, it's up to the kids on the field. When the effort's there, the wins will be there, just like I said. If the effort's not there, it'll be a sad Monday morning.
Now I'm going to let Rusty talk because I've had my 2 minutes of fame.
No, I'm just saying, sometimes it gets repetitive when you talk. Of course, we're repetitive every week. We say the same stuff. And essentially, it's we fumbled a lot. We didn't throw very well. And we just.
But we did throw well last week. We threw real well.
We did throw well. We've been throwing better. And, we said that last week. We threw a little better every week.
But we still have to say this same old stuff. Few fumbles, few penalties.
The fumbling should be over by now. That should be something that has already been taken care of.
Yeah, he's going to have to hang on the ball and quit with the petty stuff.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times the second, third effort will get you a yard or two. But essentially, that's when he's fumbling the football.
I don't like running the ball in the middle of the field either, where all the bodies are. Because if the kid's got 2 fumbles in the middle of the pack, then quit running in there and run somewhere else.
There's something that Lookout Valley's seen, exactly what Salina's seen, and I don't know if it's the way he carries the football or whatever. It's kind of exposed the fact that you can knock it loose, and I think maybe that's what they were trying to do.
So he needs to put that away. He needs to put that away where it ain't exposed.
Later in the game when he needed to do it, you know what I'm saying? He would cover the ball with both hands.
But he needs to do that every carry. Put it away.
Essentially, yeah. Unless you just get a big long break, and it's nothing new. It's going back to
technique and fundamentals.
It's going back several games, not just this season, but last season. We're playing the one that sticks out in my mind. We're playing Smith County over there.
Yeah, I remember
putting the game on ice.
Yeah,
and he's running downfield, and the ball just comes loose.
Yeah,
and it's just something that I don't know. I don't know that can be. If there's any flaw in his game, that's it. It's just tucking the ball away, and toward when it mattered the other night, he took the football away. And he was covering it with 2 hands and plowing through people. So
maybe in order to get him to not do it,
I know what you're going to say.
People need to remind him all week that he's doing it.
If he hears it enough, what you're going to say.
Maybe if he hears it enough, he won't do it when game time
Make
comes.
him carry a football everywhere he goes. Is that what you're going to say?
No, that wasn't what I was going to say. I was actually going to say.
I was thinking you were going to
I was actually going to tell him if you guys tell him every day about the fumbles, then eventually he'll get sick of hearing it and put the ball away and quit doing it.
Well, he's done. Like I said the other night, he only fumbled twice. He fumbled twice. Once it was going out of bounds and they ended up catching it, right?
Yeah.
So that kind of put us in a bind. And again, it's always on the second and third effort that it's happening for the most part.
Any tips on special teams you want to give these kids in case they kick short?
Our kicker's back. He missed a field goal and an extra point the other night, and he's back. He kicked one there toward the end of the game.
But what I'm trying to say is, any tips you want to give, like the kids returning balls that might not return all year on the little short kicks.
Especially if you're an up back and that ball's kicked to you, get on the football. Don't try to pick it up and go with it because they're already on top of you. If they've only got to run 10, 15, if you're deep, you can get away with trying to pick football up. Sometimes. If you're up close and you try to pick the football up, they're going to jump on it.
And you think that's essentially what happened the other night,
by the time he picked the football up and got it in his arm, the kid didn't. He just took one step, helmet hits the football, out goes the football.
But his best bet right there would have been not try to return it, just jump on the ball and cover
it up. We need the
right?
football. That's right. The one thing you have to do to win a football game is
you have to have the football.
You have to have the football.
Right.
You can't give it up every time you get it.
Right. If you don't never have the ball, you can't win.
You have to have control of the football, and that's how you control the game. And I think that's a lot of our strategy is controlling the clock and limit the possessions, and that's really going to come into play when you're playing teams that have explosive offenses.
Like the Whitwells and the South Pitts.
You have got to control the football.
Like your Whitwells and your South Pitts.
We're not looking down the road to that. We're just saying this week we got to get past Lookout Valley, and you do the same thing as Lookout Valley that we've done all season. Run the football, control the clock, only throw it when you have to, And sometimes you'll get a play where it's not going to kill you to throw the football, especially if you get a lead. Catch them off guard, throw the football, and things like that. But our main focus is running the football with
the clock.
And the clock. Control the clock. Like I said, you don't have to snap it with 25 seconds to go every time.
Right.
Take your time. Give your running back a breather. Right? And essentially, that's how you win football games.
And if it gets to
that's my strategy.
If it gets to
with
be
the team
fourth
we
and
got
short,
right now,
if it gets to be fourth and short, instead of trying to draw them off, let's go with that silent count play.
let's just get up there, and they're going to think we're going to draw them off, and their coach is going to say, "Don't watch the football," and then they're not going to be watching the football until he sets the offense and tries to say it once or twice.
So we don't say it at all. We just go.
Just go, and then you catch them on their heels, and you just run right over top of them. That's my theory on that.
Right.
But we didn't discuss that. Another good thing to do is, like you said, try to draw them off, but have a play called. Don't call timeout. They call the no-play timeout. How about a no-play 32 dive? 42 dive. Get us a yard. Braxton will get you a yard or two.
Right, but have a play called. That way, when they see, that way you may catch them off guard that way, because they may be thinking you're going, and doing your little thing, doing your thing, and gonna call timeout, and then all of a sudden you slip it underneath, and you might have a 5-yard run.
What if we had the quarterback under center? I got another play drawn up. I just thought of it. What if we had the quarterback under center?
Yeah.
Braxton lined up behind him.
Yeah.
All right.
What about if we move Adam out of the way and just snap it to Braxton
Act
and
like
run?
he's about to walk off. That's right. Act like he's about to walk off.
And go call timeout and just snap it off to Braxton
Act
and
like
go.
he's about to call timeout and walk toward the sideline. And then snap the ball and go. Another good play to get somebody on their heels.
Right.
Because by then, when the quarterback comes out from under center, you'll see a lot of teams just go to relaxing. So there's little tricks you can run, just like the old hidden ball trick in baseball. There's ways to get out of a situation.
Yeah, but let's not waste a timeout when we got a play we can sneak out there and do.
I do not like what I call wasting a timeout. I don't like that.
I don't either.
Especially early on in the game.
And if it's the fourth quarter, and that's your last timeout, don't do it. Let's run the old fake play.
Yeah, I hate wasting.
We'll either run the single wing and move Adam out wide and run the single wing snap that they ain't never gonna see coming.
I don't like I don't like going to halftime with timeouts in my back pocket either, though.
But we need to save that last timeout till we really, really, really need it.
Exactly. If we had another timeout at the end of that half, I think we score. Instead of having to get up there and spike the ball and waste 10,
But we wasted
seconds.
our timeout on the draw them off sides mess.
Right. I think we should have
done that. No play, some kind of play.
Or run a play. You know what I'm saying? Get up there and run a play. Maybe they'll call timeout.
Maybe Adam could have. I don't know. I mean, if you got Adam in there and he just walks down the line and they think he's gonna call timeout, then that'd be perfect time. Just send Braxton and first down.
Yeah, I think it would work.
Yeah, we'll call that play. Spread them out.
Spread them out.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna spread them out. I think it's just.
I'll just call it that. Spread them out.
We'll call it the relaxed draw. As soon as they relax, then you draw. You run the ball.
Relaxed draw. Okay.
Yeah. Something.
And the other play, we'll call it silent count.
The silent snap.
Yeah, silent snap, silent count, and then relaxed draw.
We don't have to have a name for every play we call. Just the gist of it. They'll name it. We'll let them name it.
Yeah.
We could name it something crazy. What would you call them for some crazy play the other night? Nobody knows what you was talking about.
Wendy Ripley.
And then it went from Wendy Ripley to Wendy Ripmon or something. I don't know.
Well, it's Wendy Ripley. That's her wheel route. And then they wound up running.
Well, see, nobody knows that but Paul.
They wound up running.
You're hollering for Wendy Ripley, and I'm trying to figure out who she is.
Well, they wound up running Faye Ripley, which was the tight end drag down the field.
That
was Faye. That was her cousin Faye on the Faye Ripley.
Why does it have to be a cousin? Why couldn't it be?
Because I just
maybe
thought
a
of it that way.
stepsister, or
I just thought of it that
sister
way.
or something.
Anyhow, Faye Ripley went for some.
I didn't know what Wendy Ripley was. I didn't know.
Neither did anybody else. So it has to line us so confused that we could have run it. And they wouldn't have a clue.
You had us confused too, so we didn't have a clue.
Yeah,
so I mean, it didn't help.
They wound up running Faye. So
we've had the Ernest P. Worrell. I mean, Do you just sit around the house and think this stuff up, or what?
Yeah. I had to think of something for WR for wheel route. So, I just said we'll just call her Wendy Ripley.
Well,
we can't let the other team know we're gonna run a wheel route. So if I come up with some bogus name and they ain't gonna, if I holler out Wendy Ripley, they ain't gonna expect wheel route.
well, how did you get the tight end out of Faye Ripley?
Because I just assumed he was a fullback.
Oh.
I just assumed it was a fullback wheel route or something, so I just called it Faye Ripley or something.
Oh, okay.
But he does play fullback sometimes, but he was lined up.
That was
tight
the
end
Ted
on that play.
Ripley, tight end drag Ripley. Is what
Ted
that
Ripley?
was Ted Ripley,
All
tight
right.
end drag route.
All right, Ted Ripley.
So Ted Ripley put that in there. Regardless, Paul, this is a huge game coming up.
It is.
We need the fans to show up. I promise you, if the fans show up, the team will show up. If you're a fan, you can look in the stands. We hadn't had that many numbers on the hill. I've been up on that hill when it's been toe to toe, hill to hill, and you can't move. And we hadn't really had that. And it's playoff time. I think you're going to see a few more people show up to the ball game. It's a home game. It's what people live for, really.
Playoffs.
And that's right. And when you don't, let's just say our fans get pretty loud. We got fairly loud the other night, like 6 minutes of that game. But for the most part, we were quiet. When the fans get into it, so does the boys, right?
Yeah, I mean, we the thing I liked about the other night, the fans got into it before we even scored. They were hooping and hollering,
And the band-
excited, and they got the boys jacked
The band got froze to death
and went home.
and run out of the.
So essentially,
play.
they didn't have no band. So I had to take the place of the band, just start hollering,
Yeah.
and did.
But we got to get the fans involved. Get a milk jug. Get this rolling. Get some
Milk jugs, just milk
with
jugs, that
rocks,
little air horn, something.
anything. A cowbell.
Just bring you loud shakers,
Get
something that
something to
makes
make-
some noise.
If you got them little party things that, the kazoo, whatever they call them, bring one of them to blow.
Yeah, the little air horns that go. Them
anything.
things are pretty good.
Bring anything, party clappers.
Just don't
anything
bring
to
your
make
laser, because they was arguing the other night about laser. Said if anyone's caught with that laser, you will be escorted out of the building.
When I heard that, first thing I thought of
What?
was Bigfoot, the guy Pat that was going to beat up Pat. I thought he might have done had a gun whipped out up there with a laser on it. Trying to, it's just a thought. I thought he ain't messing around with Pat this year.
And Pat even said something about that. Said the guy was getting excited the other night anyway, threatening him.
Yeah, I did get to talk to Pat after the game. He is fine. He made it out of there alive. So,
And we are back home, so the booms and bangs are coming back.
you can say boom and bang this week, and I hope he says it a lot. It's a huge game, real
Right.
big game. Anything else you got to add, Paul?
Nope.
You done.
That's all I need to say right there.
That's all you got. Mm-hmm. Well, all right. Bring the popcorn.
It's going to be a show.
Cowbells, whatever you got. It's going to
be a show.
And we look forward to seeing you Friday night, 7 o'clock, Turney Ford Field.
Come on down, be loud, bring your popcorn,
First round of the playoffs.
let's get a win.
All right. We'll see you there.
Hut.
Hut.